Tom, you really made a point there. There are some things that, and some areas that you, in any organization, you try not to trump on. And we had an opportunity to walk all over them. I thought you did very well in not doing that, even though we did have folks that got excited. But that means that you actually, your objectives were met. You're supposed to get people riled up. You're supposed to get people talking about it. You're supposed to get people excited. I have had to give those speeches. That's one of those speeches that we very rarely give here. I've had to do that. Matter of fact, I've even given subject matter as far as like speaking to a hostile audience in speeches. And let me tell you, until you've lived it, it's hard to do. You did very well. You told a story to make that point. It's a story that most of us in the room, we know Tommy. So, you know, it's even a little more personal, right? So the fact of the matter is that we all touched us a little bit if we were in the club when Tommy was here. So that, you know, that draws us in. It gets everybody there. Telling a story that everybody can relate to and or know the people to is an awesome way to get people sucked into what you're saying. You did a really good job moving on during the question and answer part. When people are getting upset, people want to be heard. People definitely want to be heard, especially when they're upset. You know, you tell them that their concerns are not valid, or you tell them that we really don't have time, we got to move on. That makes it even worse. The hostile speaking I've done didn't have time limits, thank God. The fact of the matter is that once they start talking, you sort of kick back and you listen to what they have to say. You know, make sure you hear it, because you'd hate to not hear it and then step up and stick your foot in your mouth and say something really bad the next time. Now the person's like, wah! Okay, and that's bad when people are not on their best behavior. When they're really passionate about the subject matter and or it's about money, that could be really, really bad, not hearing what everybody has to say. When you have an opinion, especially when you have a view that you know is going to be controversial opinion, perhaps soft pedal it a little more. Don't be I know it's hard for this, and I have issues with this too. Don't be so authoritative when you're given that you feel that the people in your audience feels like they're being blown over. Suck them in with that story. But then when you're expressing those viewpoints, be careful about what you're treading on. I mean, your point is valid. Now, does somebody's designations mean nothing? We know better, I think. I mean, I truly feel that the designations are something that a person who's been in Toastmasters over a little bit of time feels like, well, yes, I should have those. I should get those kudos. But especially when we're first starting, that's where that mentor program, because everybody here has that reason why they joined. How many people that reason why they joined is still valid? Okay, see, there's quite a bit of hands going up. So the trick is that, you know, some of us get past that point, and it's not necessarily valid. Now we're looking for those rubs. We're also looking for what Toastmasters is going to give to us. I mean, I can hang out and drink beer anywhere. You know, but the speeches are exciting, they're generally fun, and they're generally something that at least grabs your attention. Most of us try, subject matter wise, to grab your attention at least. Because no one wants to get up here and blah, 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 blah. You did a very good job of getting your point across. Answering the questions are rough, especially with a time limit like they've had. We've had a couple of those speeches that they give a question and answer time, and it never works out really well because you end up having to cut somebody off to move on to somebody else. Folks in the room, when you're asking questions, ask a question. This is not, do you have any comments? This was, do you have a question? Now, maybe Tom could have, when you get to that point, especially if you've soft pedaled that hard opinion, now say, do you have any questions? We're not here to argue the point. I've made my statement. Now we're looking for questions to clarify anything I may have said. A lot of times when I'm doing my thing, I have those situations. I mean, your opinion is awesome and everything, but do you have any question? Because, you know, most of the time, everybody in the room knows what your opinion is going to be. I mean, your opinion is this or this. It's one side or the other. And like somebody already stated, the political thing, I never can do it because I took Lincoln Douglas debate in high school and haven't been able to make a solid decision yet. So, with that being said, we have an issue here that is obvious, actually, at least in my opinion, that our mentor program is all important. Everybody should be signed up on that list. And if you are a mentor, please pay attention to what the people really want. Because that you can work within the program, but you got to know what those folks want out of the program. Yeah, you can do the full speeches, but you need to make that speech, that book speech, fit into what you need to do also. So maybe we're going to have more copies of all the speeches, so when your speech that you need to do at home falls into a speech, it's not necessarily on your program, but going forward, we'll deal with all that. Thank you very much.